tell the time, you know. Hey, look, can you do something about that? Got a flaming head like Birkenhead.
That happens to be your son.
There's no wonder he's always yelling his lungs out. He's just got to look at you when you pick him up.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't do you any harm to show a bit more interest in. He's your son and all, you know. Just what did he say to you last night, Brian?
It was between me and my dad, wasn't it?
Look, if you and your dad want to have your little secrets, that's fine by me. But when me and Nicky get involved, I think I've got a right to know.
Leave it, Gail.
Brian!
I said leave it!
Anyway, if you can't talk to your wife, that's up to you. I'm warning you, Brian. I can't take much more of this. I really can't.
All right. If you must know, he gave me a right rollicking, didn't he?
Left it?
Yes.
What for?
He said it was time I grew up. Time I faced my responsibilities. Told me how easy it is to moan about how hard done we are. Said if marriages are going to work, they've got to be worked at.
Well, he may have a point, you know.
I might have known whose side you'd be on. It's always the same these days, Gail. You know something? There are times when I wonder why you bothered to marry me. There really are.
Don't talk like that.
Well, look at me. I'm the same fella you married, aren't I? I've not changed. Well?
Well, as a matter of fact, you have, Brian, yeah. For one thing, I could say more than 2 words to you in the morning without getting my head bitten off.
Oh, I see. So it's all down to me, is it? Have you taken a look at yourself lately? Because I don't remember you slopping around looking like a jumble sale after day when we got married either. Well, I'm sick of it as well, Gail. Sick to flaming death of it.
To breakfast, Jack?
The way I feel now will probably choke me.
We're beginning to worry about you, you know.
Eh?
I mean, all this happiness, it's not normal. Well, not coming from you, it's not.
How do you mean?
Well, Fred, you've got to admit it. You have had a bit of a gleam in your eye these days.
I've always got a gleam in my eye. It's just that you've never noticed it.
Oh.
And now you have. You're too late, aren't you? Because I've found somebody else.
Have you got round to saying anything to her, then?
About the possibility of getting my own pub. Well, I reckon if I do get a pub of my own, I've cracked it with that Eunice.
I see. She wouldn't have you on your own, but she might take a chance if there was a pub chucked in.
You say some very hurtful things, you, don't you? There's more to our relationship than that, you know.
I should hope so. I take it you've checked with the brewery, then?
What for?
Well, to see that you can still get a pub of your own. There've been 1 or 2 changes at Newton and Ridley's, you know, since the last time you asked. Anyway, it's worth a phone call at least, Fred.
So, give me credit for something, Betty. We're not, weren't all gone yesterday, you know.
Tiptoe through the tulips, la-da-dee-dum, la-da-dum.
You must have something going from now, Wally Randall. And I don't mean fruit machines either.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
You, look at you. You were nearly demented yesterday because you hadn't seen him since his last Preston
Who
Guild.
was?
And this morning you're as sharp as a razor with a smile you could make toast on. Did he do take you to Paris for the night on Concorde?
Well, if you must know, he took me to Macclesfield in the van. We had a couple of drinks and came home, and that's about it. Now, are you happy, or would you like it in writing?
Certainly knows how to treat a girl, doesn't he? I bet you let you sit next to her on the way back and all.
You know, there are some women who go out with fellas not for what they can get out of them, you know.
Sort of fellas my mum warned me about. I've been looking for one ever since. Hey, do you reckon you'll be seeing him again, then?
I tell you what I reckon. I reckon it's time he got stuck into them pots and gave that tongue of yours a rest before it drops out.
See him tonight, though.
Pots!
Hello? Newton and Ridley? Yeah, look, I wonder if you can help me. Well, no, I don't know who I want to speak to, that's it. Yeah, well, it's about the possibility of taking one of your pubs, you know, running one of your houses. That's right, yeah. Yeah, well, I just thought, I wondered if I could come down and have a little chat, you know. Oh, yeah, I spoke to somebody, a couple of years ago. Fred G. No, that's my name. No, we're Mr. Creswell, Mr. Douglas Creswell, that's the fella.
Mr. Creswell of the brewery?
Oh, hello, Mrs.
thank you,
Walker.
Fred.
Yes, no, well, it was me that were phoning in, Mr. Walker, it's not for you.
Mr. Creswell?
Yes, look, hang on a minute, will you? I'd better just pop through and have a word with you. I'll explain it later when I finish, Mrs. Walker.
You better had.
Hang on.
You still fretting about what you said to our Brian last night?
Well, of course I am. I can't help it, can I? I mean, there I was, putting me oar in, a thing I said I'd never do. I mean, come on, how many times have I told you off for doing the same thing?
Well, somebody had to, Bert. Look, if it hadn't been you, I dare say I'd have said something. And I wouldn't have minced me words either. Should be ashamed of the soul state they're getting themselves into. Especially when you consider they've got that young baby to think of and all.
Well, I hope Brian doesn't take it the wrong way. You know what he's like. Could be a funny beggar at times.
Well, look, would you just rather have sat back and watched the marriage go to the dogs,
No.
knowing that you'd done nought about it?
So you see, Mrs. Walker, I had to find out if the situation was still the same. You know, if I can have a place of my own, if and when I do get wed, like.
I think you're getting married.
Well, it's nothing definite, but hopefully it won't be long.
I see. And what did Mr. Cresswell have to say?
Well, I didn't get to speak to him, Mrs. Walker. I'm going out to see him later.
I see. Well, thank you for telling me, Fred, although I can't say it comes as a complete surprise. If you do go, I shall miss you, of course. But it won't be the end of the world. All I ask is that you keep me informed of the situation.
Oh, I'll do that, Mrs. Walker. Oh, yes, I'm sure to do that.
Thank you.
Right, I'll get back, because Betty's on her own, like.
What do you think about that?
Well, it makes you look different.
That's what Miss Price said, you know, at the beauty centre last night.
If you shaved it all off, you'd look different, wouldn't you?
Oh, look, I happen to find these little tips are very useful. I mean, they're very revealing. No, she said if I took it back more, it would make my face look fuller.
Fatter.
Fuller?
Do you know that woman has a language all of her own, doesn't she? I mean, how many times do you hear her talk about people with a fuller figure? And what she really means is they've got lumps and bumps where nature never intended. Am I right, Emily? Well,
Uh-huh.
and how many times does she talk about people with a face full of character? What she really means is they're more crow's feet than a bird sanctuary.
Oh, yes, but if it makes us feel better, and I mean, that's what we go for. It's like she says, it's to help us make the most of the gifts nature has bestowed on us.
She'll still be telling you that when all your gifts have flown away.
Oh, you're talking to you with a snort.
Oh, go and put kettle on. Hey, and watch that steam doesn't make your mascara run. You know, I'd rather be described as having a face full of character than having more crow's feet than a bird sanctuary. Between you and me, Emily, so would I. But to have one more peep out of her this morning about that beauty course, I'll scream this place down.
Oh.
Bye. See you, ta-da. Hello, love. Now then.
Can you tell me what kind of cigars Fred smokes?
Oh, no, I can't help you there. He don't get them from me.
Oh, well, well, give me 5 of something not too big and swanky, eh?
Right. 73p, love. Hey, tell us something. What do you reckon people mean when they talk of the fuller figure?
Eh?
Oh, no, come on, what do you reckon? I mean, I'm trying to educate my assistant here.
Well, now, that depends, doesn't it?
What on?
Well, if it's a man, he's ready for the lard factory.
Oh.
If it's a woman, it's a fuller figure. That's what I call tact.
So long as Fred doesn't hear you.
Oh, give me a man with a bit of meat on him any day of the week. Something to warm your feet on during those cold winter nights. Anyway, that's what counts when you get to our age, isn't it, love? I'll be seeing you.
One word, Riley, one word.
Still, if that's what you fancy, mate, good luck to you. But there's pubs and pubs. Not all laughing all the way to the bank nowadays, you know.
You don't have to tell us, mate. Look, there's nothing settled yet, so keep it under wraps. Yeah, go on. I'm going out to the brewery this afternoon, so, you know, see how the land lies.
You jammy beggar. A pub of your own? Hey, that's a working man's dream, that, you know.
Stanley, how do you know what a working man dreams about?
You know, Stanley, that's what the brewers have been saying about you for years.
What?
There he goes, there goes Stanley, they say. The brewer's dream come true.
There now. That's better, ain't it? When you've got a nice full tummy and you're nice and dry. So why don't you have a little lie down while your mummy does the washing up, eh? All right? Or would you rather do the washing up and I'll have a lie down? Eh? What are you doing here?
Well, actually, didn't I?
You've not gone and upset Ron Sykes again, have you?
I've not got the sack if that's what you're thinking. I'm road testing the car. I had to come and see you, didn't I?
Yeah, well, you're lucky I'm still here after the way you behaved this morning. There's plenty wouldn't have been, you know.
Yeah, I know that, love. I'm sorry about that, I really am. Just couldn't get over the way that my dad spoke to me. As if I was some stupid kid or something.
Well, that's no reason to take it out on me and Nicky.
No, it isn't. I thought about nothing else all morning. But you and Nick, what my dad said. He was right. Dead right. That's what got me. In this time I grew up and realised it's not just me to think about anymore. And what I've got is worth fighting for. Because if I don't, If we don't, we might as well just pack up now. And everything we ever hoped for goes right out that window.
Hey, don't talk like that.
I'm trying to face facts, Gail. It happens to be the truth.
Yes, well, it's not all your fault. It's mine as well. And me who wanted to move here in the first place. I mean, if we hadn't come here, if we hadn't got a big mortgage...
Hey, if we didn't buy this house, if we didn't have Nick, if we didn't get married in the first place, but we did, didn't we? And all that matters now is where we go from here, right?
Right.
And I know where I'm going. Because without you, Nick, I've got nothing.
Me neither.
Oh, I think that's the right shade. They all have such exotic-sounding names, don't they?
Well, you must admit, Bermuda Glow does sound a lot better than Mucky Brown.
I suppose you do.
That's it, then.
Oh, I hope so. I knew there was something I'd forgotten when I was in this morning. Bye.
Bye-bye, love.
Hello.
Hey, where's the fire?
Yeah, I've not got much time, but it's Mavis I'm after. Is she in?
Do you know, perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps there is something in this beauty lark.
Hey?
Never mind, love. You're too young to understand. Mavis, there's a big honking fella here wants to know if he can have you on toast for his tea.
Oh, hello. Oh, take no notice of her. She's had it on her ever since we opened up this morning. I think she's at a funny age myself.
Well, if I am, it's not making me laugh, I can tell you.
What can I do for you?
Well, I was wondering how you fixed for babysitting.
When?
Tonight.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going out with Emily.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, if you can't, you
Oh,
can't.
I am sorry. Was it a special occasion?
Yeah, it was, but thanks anyway.
Hang on.
Hey?
I'm too long in tooth, am I?
You?
Well, I do know one end from t'other, you know. And they're not that difficult at this age, are they?
Well, you're not working tonight?
No.
Well, what about Len?
He doesn't need a babysitter. And if you keep chucking excuses at me like that, I'll begin to think I'm not wanted.
I'm sorry, I just didn't think of you. Well, can you make it about 7?
Try me.
Right. 7 o'clock then. I'll see you.
Try. Well, don't look at me like that. You that said I was at a funny age.
Hey up, must be working. What must? New perfume of yours. What was it? Essence of sausages. Lover poison.
Now, look, Sandra, I've just had about enough of you for one day. If there's any more of it... Hello, Wally.
Oh, Elsie.
You were saying?
What are you doing here?
Well, I fancied a cup of tea, and as the shop that side's a paper shop and that side's a dry cleaners, I thought I'd come in here.
Daft beggar. I thought you'd gone out of town for the day.
Yes, I had. I got through sooner than I thought. Couldn't have to do with that cup of tea. Hey, why don't you come and sit down for 5 minutes?
I'd love to, but you can see how I'm fixed.
I'm not useless, you know.
Oh, thank you. My feet will be grateful to you forever. Oh. Oh, do you want something to eat? I forgot.
I'm starving, actually.
Look, I'll get your menu.
No offence, Elsie, but I thought I'd go somewhere else tonight.
Oh. Anywhere interesting?
Well, nowhere special, no. I thought I'd have something to eat in town and then go on somewhere afterwards. You know, there's a couple of films I'd like to see. Thank you.
Oh, I can't think of the last time I went to the pictures.
No?
Well, it's not much fun on your own, is it?
I can't say I've ever really thought about it. You know, if I want to go to the pictures, just go. Simple as that.
Well, if you want anybody along to unwrap your chalk ices...
Oh, well, look, I mean, you know, if you'd like to come with me tonight...
No, you daft beggar. If you want to go on your own...
No, I didn't say that.
Well, it just so happens that my ticket to a Lord Mayor's ball have got lost in the post, and I do happen to be free. Come in. Everything all right, Fred?
Yeah.
Well, you do seem to have been quite a while.
Well, I had to wait for him, didn't I?
But you did see Mr. Cresswell?
Yeah, I saw Mr. Cresswell.
How did you get on, though? Now, look, Fred, there are many reasons why you may not be able to get a house of your own. There are certain qualities a landlord needs which are not noticeable at first. Now, and I do speak from long experience.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Mrs. Walker. That's why I had no choice. That's why he said that I'm just the type of fella to run a Newton and Ridley house.
Fred, I thought for a minute they'd turned you down. So did I.
A man of my charm and talents.
Not to mention modesty.
Sorry, Mrs. Walker, I couldn't resist that.
I'm very pleased for you, Fred. Sit down.
Thank you. I wonder if I could ask a favour, Mrs. Walker.
Yes?
I wondered if I could borrow the Rover. Take Eunice out somewhere special, you know.
Bit of a celebration.
Look, I won't drink and drive, and I'll bring it back in one piece.
Very well, but you do promise to be careful.
I'll treat it just as if it were my own, Mrs. Walker.
I'm quite sure you will. Oh, I'm sure you'll feel like a drink after your ordeal.
A drink? Oh, I could murder one.
Elizabeth, do bring another cup for Fred. Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Hey, you look good enough to eat.
All right, I believe you. You don't have to prove it.
Hey, is Nick okay?
Yeah, he's fine. And thanks.
What for?
Tonight, it was a smashing surprise.
Hey, it's the least I could do. After the way I spoke this morning, I'm lucky I've still got a roof over my head.
Well, I'm lucky to have a fella like you.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Oh, sorry, I kept you waiting.
No, of course we haven't. Yeah, I'll take your coat.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming, Rita. Bryce said he don't know what we'd have done if you hadn't.
Just said, do. We'd stopped in, wouldn't we?
Well, I don't think you'll hear a peep out of him. But if you do, there's a drink for him in the kitchen.
Yes, and there's one for the babysitter too, so you just help yourself.
I just might do that.
And if you want to watch telly, take him upstairs. He'll be all right in his carry cup.
Listen, if you'd rather he took me out and you stayed in, it can be arranged, you know.
I do go on a bit, don't I?
Well, don't blame you. I reckon I'd do the same.
Right, well, we're not be long then.
No, stop worrying. Just get out. Enjoy yourself. Go on.
We'll try.
See you.
Ta.
Middle for diddle. Hey, hang on a minute.
What's the matter?
That last throw of yours. How long's double 18 been 38?
Oh, I see what you mean. I don't know how I did that, though, because I'm pretty good at reckoning up usually.
Ah, you and the milkman's horse.
Oh, it took you long enough to see it, didn't it? Well, come on, are you playing or not?
Well, against that computer brain of yours, I wouldn't stand a chance.
You want to get electric scoreboards, you know, like they have on TV for darts.
Why don't you suggest it to Mrs. Walker? I mean, she enjoys a good laugh.
That's another thing.
He's full of it, isn't he, tonight?
A suggestion box.
Electric scoreboard, a suggestion box. Anything else while we're at it? How about colour telly and cabaret every night and free ale every weekend?
Yes.
There's so much you can do, Olivia. You can fill that up again. Put one in there and all. It might stop him rabbiting for 5 minutes.
Well, they're never getting out if you don't ask for it.
I've noticed that, Stanley, yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with your timing, is there? What are you
No,
gonna...
no, come on, this is my shout.
Yeah, come on, what are you...
No, I insist.
Look, if it's going to stop a punch-up, I'm sure I can manage another gin and tonic afterwards. I didn't hear you offer by any chance, did I, Stan?
No. No. Right, then that's a pint of bitter, a gin and tonic and those two, please. That's very decent of you.
Oh, it's like that, aren't you?
So they tell me, eh?
Come on. Did Auntie Rita waking you up? Come on, then. Oh, little darling. Hello. Come on. Did I waken you? Well, that's better, isn't it? Eh? Oh, you're going to break a few hearts when you grow up, laddie, aren't you? Eh? Rock-a-bye, baby, on a treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
Hello. We thought you'd be in here.
Hey, all right.
Are these seats taken?
They were, but they're not now, so park yourself.
Are you on your own?
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it?
I meant, what have you done with baby Nicholas?
Rita's looking after him.
What, Rita Fairclough? What you had to leave him with her for? I mean, what's up with us?
Hey.
Nothing's up with you, man. It's just something we decided on the spur of the moment. And Rita was handy and she said OK. All right. And, listen, we'd like to say thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, to you, really. What you said to Brian. He didn't take too kindly to it at first, but we've thought it out, and we think you're right.
Yeah, dead right.
It don't make it any easier, but at least we know where we've got to go.
There you are, you see. I told you it would be all right in the end, didn't I?
You? You've been worried sick all day in case they never spoke to you again.
Whatever gave you that idea, my sweet?
I'll tell you what, love. I bet they don't get many drunks in here. The time it takes to get a drink.
Oh, very amusing. All right. I can take a hint. Come on, you can help me carry him.
Betty, love.
If it's as bad as all that, why do you stay there?
Well, I've no choice, have I? I mean, you tell me where I can get bed, breakfast and an evening meal for what I'm paying.
Oh, I don't know. It could be arranged. Free use of the crewage and all that. My office still open.
Well, your place, you mean?
It could do worse.
I am doing worse.
Well, look, I tell you what. Why don't you come round, have a look at the room? I mean, you've nothing to lose, have you?
Nothing at all.
It was a smashing night, Fred.
Did it in style, didn't we?
Oh, it's lovely. The last time I was in anything like this was when I was matron of honour at Mildred Penny's wedding. Didn't last, though. The marriage, I mean. The car's probably still going strong.
I suppose it is. Any chance of a cup of coffee?
Yeah, of course there is, as long as you don't mind me Dad.
Well, he still won't be awake, will he?
Oh, he drives us potty. He sleeps all day and keeps the rest of us up half the night. Him and his flaming clocks.
Clocks?
He's dozens of them. Chiming clocks, cuckoo clocks, you name them, he's got them. It's a hobby with him.
Oh, expensive hobby.
Oh, no, none of them work. Well, not properly, that is.
Hang on a minute, Eunice.
I thought you wanted a cup of coffee.
Well, never mind about that. There's something I want to talk to you about.
I wouldn't have thought you'd anything else to talk about. You've done nothing but chatter all night, eh? You're breaking those teeth in for somebody.
Look, just be serious for a minute,
Sorry.
will you, love?
Go on.
You know what I was saying earlier about Newton and Ridley's offering a pub of my own, like?
I think it's smashing, Freddie. I'm really chuffed for you.
Yeah. Only the thing is that, I have to be married, like, you know. You have to be wed and, now that it's more or less definite that I can have a pub, and, well, you were saying, weren't you, that, well, you know, you fancied running one. I wondered what you thought of, you know, did you fancy running one with me?
Hang on a minute. Are you asking what I think you're asking?
I'm asking you to marry me.
If you don't let the grass grow under your feet, I'll say that for you.
Well, there's no point, is there? Life's too short, Eunice. Still, suppose you want to think about it.
I don't have to, I already have. Don't look so surprised. You've had something like this on your mind for days, haven't you?
How did you know?
Fred G., you're about as subtle as a steam hammer.
Well, what do you reckon?
Well, I reckon I'll be happy to give it a whirl if you will.
You will? We'll make a good team, Eunice. You won't regret it.
I hope I won't, because I won't be the only one.
And if you missed any Corrie this week, a remedy is right at hand from the Coronation Street Omnibus, starting at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Next on Plus Today, though, it's Trouble for Nick and Zoe in Emmerdale.